right, welcome back to another episode of Knicks Morning Koffee. I'm Mr. King, and I'm my partner Joe Cool.
What's going on?
All right, it's been a little minute. Gotta apologize. What this in?
Yeah, you can plug it in.
All right. I've been feeling under the weather, between under the weather and scheduling. I gotta take the blame for that one. But we're still happy to be here on this Martin Luther King Day. We all know what Martin stood for, and we hope that everybody at least practice some of what he preached in their lifetime. But let's get into it. We got a lot of little things we want to step on today. We got to mention this. I guess we can call it not really a winning streak, right? But
yeah, I thought it was 8 straight, but we did lose to Milwaukee, so it's like 7 in the last 8 games.
Well, it ain't. When I thought about it, it was the 8 in a row that we won. Then it was the 5 in a row that we lost. Then it was the 1-1 split, and then we won like 3 or 4. Cause remember we just lost.
Yeah, we won 3 or 4, but since the new year, I'm gonna count December 31st. We won, I think, 7 of the 8.
It's just something like that. Yeah. Well, we know, but we do know in the last 21 games, we're like 15-6.
No, I think it's 7 of the 8 because we lost to Milwaukee.
But
we
that's
beat somebody, I forgot who.
Yeah. For a 20-game stretch.
We lost to the Spurs.
Then we beat Atlanta.
And then we beat the Spurs, and then we lost to Milwaukee, and then we beat everybody else.
And that Milwaukee game, and I might be jumping, I don't know where I'm at in my thing. That Milwaukee game and that Dallas game during that stretch. During that stretch, I think that was kind of like you had them. The Dallas game you clearly had, and the Milwaukee game you let that get away. But we get into that. But anyway, I wanted to start with was.
First of all, hit the like.
Yeah, hit
subscribe.
The likes.
We're back.
This is actually our 100th episode.
You know what I mean?
Shamefully to say, it took us 3 years to get here to this 100.
But I think last year was the most consistent. Last year, I think we did the most episodes we did.
Other than when we first started, when we were doing it every day. But at least hit the like button, give your boys a break. All right, so we're going to start with this. Ian Begley of SNY, the other day, he had an article that said, did the Knicks reach their peak? Now, I didn't read the article, but sometimes I just need to see it just to have me start thinking about some other stuff. So I don't know if he was for or against. But my answer to did the Knicks reach their peak is an emphatic no.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, because we got some things. I mean, if you want to say Julius is playing similar to the way he played in the playoff season that we had, you could say that. If you want to say Brunson could be maximizing his potential right now, you could say that, and that would might make you think that we reached our peak. But when you look at RJ, supposedly still have room to improve, and right now his improvement could probably be consistency. IQ is showing that he can go into another gear, given the time and the minutes as far as being the person that's dominating the ball. So he proved that his game can go to another level. And then you got Quentin Grimes, who, as much as stellar defense he's been playing, he hasn't reached his potential in terms of his shooting even yet. Like, he's hitting some of the open shots, but we know that he can really turn it on and turn up on that offensive side of the ball. It's just that it ain't really needed in that sense right now, and he's not a go-to guy. So we haven't reached our potential as a team, and then we're not even going to mention McBride, his ball pressure, and the confidence that he's getting in his shot. But for somebody to really say this, it's a good question to ask, but the answer to me is no. The Knicks can actually go into a whole nother atmosphere on the offensive side of the ball.
To me, we right at what we asked for. It's adding Randall to what we asked for. So we want all the young guys to play.
Yeah.
So all of them are playing. We're looking at all their potential, how far they can grow. I think the only problem that we having with the Knicks is like a cosmetic problem. So like Randall is not, when you think all-star and superstar, he doesn't look the part. He's putting up the numbers and he's playing physical. So his dunk that he did the other night on dude was like fire. Everybody jumped up, even I was screaming. But then you got Ja Morant and did kind of the same thing. He just crossed his man over and did the dunk. It just, our superstar or star doesn't look like everybody else's.
Yeah.
RJ Barrett, as much as people want to like being RJ's corner, he doesn't fit the qualifications of being flashy and
he ain't qualified.
impacting the game. So I think that's the only problem the Knicks is having. If it was people that we can market, kinda, I think we just look better as a team overall. But because we kind of look boring, like yeah, we putting up numbers. Jericho jumping high out the gym. When Obi's playing, we look good. Randall's putting up 42. Brunson is killing.
Well,
but
yeah,
we don't get the all-star looks, and the way they playing, you would think they would get some type of vote.
Well, I'm not going by when I think about them. We're gonna jump to this segment to the All-Star. When I think about our guys making the All-Star team, I forget about it. We ain't getting it from the votes because just being in New York City alone, if the city wanted you in with all the votes you could get, like I ain't never voted. I've never voted in an All-Star game in my life. You know, this is going back to Magic Johnson, all of them, because you just know who's going to be in. But when we think about our All-Star games, forget about RJ and All-Star. You're thinking about Randall and Brunson. Could they make the All-Star game? And then, well, let me back up for that. I gotta go back to that Randall thing right quick.
Okay.
Yeah, we are. Our team we don't fit the description of the typical All-Star superstar because it was not boring. The Knicks stopped running for some reason. Even though we still winning, we stopped running. When we was running, we looked like that kind of team. And then if you add that running aspect to our game, and then you add what Randall been doing lately, the ferociousness that he been doing, that would make you appealing to other people to want to watch our team. But we don't put the two together.
It's funny with the running because I think Wiley or one of them was on the pregame show, and it was like almost like teams got the drop on the Knicks with the running game. It's like they know how to slow us down.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah.
And I don't believe that, though.
He said, but the teams know what we're going to try to do. So that's why our teams is like putting on the gas. And then we're very physical. So now, teams are getting annoyed that we so physical.
Yeah, but I don't believe that teams can stop that.
I'm talking about, but they adjust for some reason why these teams are adjusting to us being able to run.
When we was running, we was taking the ball out of bounds right away. And if you look at the game, I think we ended up losing that game. One of the games where somebody came back, whoever our last game was. And when they was coming back, when they were pressing us, we started, when they scored, taking our time, taking it out of bounds, letting them set up the press. And I didn't get that through the whole fourth quarter. Why are we doing that? Just whoever, as soon as it go through the hoop, whoever's there, get it in bounds.
But
we was having all those problems. That's even beside running. That's just helping them set up.
Even with running, I know even when you coach, there got to be a method to your madness of running.
But that's where
you just can't tell the team to run just for the sake of running.
No, but when you practice it, you have so many different scenarios where everybody where they are on the floor. So you either running where the ball is going to the middle, or you pushing it up the sideline where it gets to the middle. But the way the Knicks were doing it, to me, was fine. I don't think no team can gear as a whole, maybe stopping one or two plays. I don't think the way they were running, I don't think a game could really gear to that, because they're not really a running mindset team. So you fall victim to, okay, let me stop, But I don't agree. If Wally said that, and I love Wally's commentary. But
I think it was in a pregame show. It was either Wiley.
Yeah, I'm sure teams was there. Yeah, I'm sure teams.
And it's like they prepping for the next two run.
Yeah, but you can't stop a running team.
So I was like, that kind of makes sense.
All right, so getting back to the All-Star voting, Randall and Brunson are the two, and then why not? And I'm gonna say that Randall has a way better chance of making the All-Star game as great as Brunson is playing than Brunson do. Because the Knicks were, other than when Melo was here, never going to get voted in. But the coaches,
I think Stoudemire.
Oh, you're right. The coaches, well, yeah, that's one. I mean, that's so far and few. But the coaches, I think, I know the coaches are gonna put Randall in. I just see the way, like when you watch the team when we playing on ESPN or one of the other channels. And sometimes I like listen to what the other commentators say about how people view our team. And I know we had this argument early in the season, but they still gearing up to stop Randall. He's still the focus. So that means if coaches are focusing on Randall, coaches get 50% of the vote. Or the writers, however it go. But that means that Randall's still on their mind. Brunson has been playing like an all-star, the past 15, 20 games. So nobody would be mad if Brunson get in. You'd only be happy about it. But just that in the East, there's way more guards than it is people up front. Like up front, Randall only really got to worry about Antetokounmpo, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant. Then after that, it's like pick 'em. But in the guard situation, Brunson is more people who has to worry about that.
Yeah.
Like even even if Randall don't get any votes.
Yeah, Randall just not the favorite because his like strong point is he's strong as hell, right? And he can shoot. Compared to all them, when he's shooting. But compared to all them other guys, they just not as strong as him, but they're way more loosey-goosey, flashy, crossover, step back. Yeah. Like his step back, we was laughing the other night. His step back is like 2 steps away. Like it's not even like a real step back.
Yeah, it's not. Well, yeah, it's not a real step back, but he would like. I actually take the game yesterday, and y'all see this. Y'all will see this today. By the time y'all see this, we will probably already be playing Toronto because that game is at 3:00. But yesterday, if Randall played the season like he did yesterday, he would get some All-Star votes. Like yesterday was his best complete game.
Well, in terms of Detroit just can't stop.
Well, no, I'm just talking about his play. Regardless of who we playing, his play yesterday going to the hole like he had a ball on a string. He never really had that. He's always driving, losing it, recover. Yesterday, he got where he wanted to go, when he wanted to go. His jumper was working. He was on the boards, ferocious, getting to the hole. That was a complete game that Randall played yesterday. And he even gave himself up, on the defensive side of the ball and setting people up on the offensive side of the ball. So I was highly, highly impressed with his performance yesterday.
Yeah.
And if he give us that on a regular basis, then he will be a consistent All-Star.
I haven't been, since the new year, I haven't really been screaming at him on the screen, win or lose, so.
Yeah, because it ain't really coming down to his fault. He folded. He was having a great game against Milwaukee, and then he folded during the Milwaukee game. And that that hurt us in the end because Brunson was giving it all. And even that last shot, when they inbound the ball and Randall had it by the 3-point line, and instead of just pulling it right there, which he normally would have did, his confidence got shook, and then he was looking for Brunson who had to throw it up. Instead of that was your shot to either tie the game or win the game for us. But then for some reason, down the end of that game, like that's the game that he missed that dunk, that if he'd got that on Milwaukee, the same dunk he got the other night, it would have even meant more. But you let that game get away because you folded. And the team as a whole, we're folding in the last 5 minutes of the game.
And that's the difference between the star mentality. You know what I mean? When they get mad, I think Melo said, he's like, I practiced this. He said, that's why it's hard for him to even be the role player sometimes. He said, I practiced that. It's 5 seconds left. I got the ball. I need to get this shot off. I don't think Randall in his mind, maybe, I don't think he looks at the game like that. I think he just, even though he's on the Knicks, you know what I mean? Like, unless you come to the Knicks, the bona fide star, it's almost like, because we need a star now. Now I see why we need one.
Well, when we originally brought him in, they actually brought him in to be the guy. But then remember Morris, the twin, just took it over.
Yeah, he was killing.
Yeah, so I did like, though, when they say Randall called up Mitch, which I didn't know. Called up Mitch this summer and said, come on down to Dallas, let's work out together. Mitch got in the truck and drove. So I thought, I don't know if they're showing.
We definitely got to talk about
it ain't showing. Yeah, Mitch, it ain't showing. Their chemistry to me is not showing, during the games. But they must have it somewhere.
Them two chemistry will be hard.
It's going to pay off.
Their chemistry will be hard because then Randall will have to be like a totally different kind of player. He'll have to be more like a LeBron, AD kind of thing. We don't give Mitch the ball down there to do that.
And we started doing that recently.
Yeah.
And like the last 2 games, they went away from that. And I think that's because
my thing is how many
Mitch
times
isn't ready.
Yeah, but Mitch still looks like he's in a learning stage because he's doing all the things you do when you finally figure out you want to be Shaq. You know what I mean? Like, you got to get down there and you got to dunk it like you mean it. Like, he's doing things that you would say to somebody.
Yeah.
Like, when you coaching him, I feel like he's doing all them things. Like, it's almost like Shaq talked to him. Like, every time you dunk, you let them feel it.
Even if Shaq what he's missing, though, forget when they throw the ball into him because he needs to really work on that footwork. Yeah, but when they do, when he gets the rebound to do it, like when he grabs off the floor, get the rebound to go back up, and it's ferocious, and he's dunking over people with that. But he could help himself by, if 2 people over you, give them the head fake, and then go up strong. Like, lift them up in the air. It's like you're doing it like a novice, like a freshman.
That's what I'm saying. He's like, he's doing it like
he
so recently just learned this. Like,
and at this point, we need you, because that's helping our team when you go to the line. But we need you to lift them up in the air, and then you're going to get that same dunk plus the foul. Take them to the rim with you. But sometimes to do it the way he's doing it sometimes, because you're not Shaq, it almost seems like you're not allowing yourself to grow. Because if you get to do it 1 or 2 times in a game, after the first time, second time, oh man, if I would have got him up in the air, I had this. But Mitch, Mitch is a major part of our team.
That got to come with the game plan. That got to be like either the players will have to say, I think we would do more damage if he's dominant down there, or a coach will have to say that.
Yeah, well,
they're not giving it to him.
But I think Tibbs said that.
He's getting off the rebound. Yeah. It's kind of like a pick and roll situation.
Yeah.
It's not like he's squaring up to the basket.
Well, they talked about that as far as his dominance down low. He's doing exactly what Tibbs wanted him to do.
Yeah.
But it seemed like at some of those times when we give him the ball at the high post and he can't find nobody open, to me, those are the times you just make your move. Like, you know what I'm saying? I checked here. The guy wasn't there when he came around, the defense on him. I checked it back this way. Now don't keep waiting. Now make a move. You did your 2. Okay, they're not open. Let me drive to the hole or do something to even take the shot. So that's how his growth will come. And that's something that you should be allowed to do. If I can block all these shots for you and clog this middle like this, I should be allowed to take some of them shots. And he just got to go ahead and do it, and then live with it. They ain't going to sit him down for that.
Yeah.
So, but Mitch is a major part of what we're doing, and really we don't win like this without him. Let's go back to Brunson for a minute, because nobody will be shocked if Brunson made the All-Star team. But one thing I have to give a lot of credit for, which even though in the beginning of the season I said, if we needed this from Brunson, then something was going to be wrong with our team. But Brunson has shown the clutch gene, right? Yeah, I think there's somebody working on the house next door.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, forgive that bang if somebody's working on the house next door. Brunson, he showed that he has the clutch gene. It's just that in the midst of that, I would like to see us, now that we know, because the team has bought into that last 5 minutes, 3 minutes, that this is Brunson's game.
Yeah.
So everybody's moving where they got to go to make him open. But I would like to see that. What is our backup plan as he's dribbling side to side, getting to a shot, which he's doing everything right. But I would like to see us have a nice bailout, secondary, thirdary play in them situations.
But we all still all the Knicks look like they're still trying to find their way.
Yeah,
Brunson already know he got so much tools in the tool belt.
Yeah,
he already know what he gonna do.
We found it. They found their way in terms of now in the last 3 to 5 minutes. As of late, it's Brunson's show.
And then Quickly's like a sponge. So I noticed the way Grimes attacked the basket, Quickly now adopts that. So it's almost like when the way D Rose used to do it, Quickly adopted, because he used to do the floater a lot.
Yeah.
And then when D Rose was going to the basket, taking the contact, get it. Now Grimes, he get it and go. Quickly kind of get you. I don't waste no time.
Grimes is definitely rubbing off on IQ, and then that only have to add to also with Deuce, because now that RJ is back, everybody got to know if you ain't doing right, he's not gonna let Deuce sit on that.
Yeah,
he ain't gonna allow that. Now, even though Grimes and he's guarding the best players on the perimeter, and they're still getting their numbers, but he is playing stellar defense on them. He's playing excellent. I looked at what he did yesterday, to the 2-guard yesterday. The way he was like making them give up the balls. We got to have him in the game, but I think IQ knows that not only there's Derek on the bench, but there's also Deuce on that bench.
Well, Derek, I think he's hurt, right?
Is he? Yeah, he might be hurt again now, but I think it might be an excuse not to play him. But yeah, Brunson definitely has shown that he has become our clutch player, even though we still need both of them. And then, too, we need RJ. But we need both of them to do what we're doing. And as long as IQ is giving us what he's giving us, which is now off the bench, nobody can complain. Now, how about this little thing the other day with KP when we played Washington? When he had that interview and he talked about what he done wrong and what he would do different, he would not oppose to going back to the Knicks.
Yeah, he said it was the most fun he had. He said he thought every team was like that. Every team is not like the Knicks. Like every team is not like the Lakers.
Yeah, I didn't hold no fire to that.
Porzingis, if he was like a free agent and he came to the Knicks, I wouldn't give nothing up for him. Because remember, the stretch four is what we truly just missing. Because I thought about it when we played them the other, what was that, like 3 games ago? When we played them, I was like trying to say in my head, let me see, like Mitch, Porzingis, Randall, like RJ. You know what I mean? Like I was trying to see where he would go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then see how that rotation would look. Because we are missing the stretch.
Yeah, we're missing the stretch 4, but for him and Randall together, Him and Randall could play together, but he wouldn't necessarily be penciled as our center. So.
Oh, Chris though, penciled in the center.
Where would you put him if you still got Randall?
That's what I'm
Where
saying.
do you put him?
I said because like I would add him to the team now. That would make us look big if he was in there.
Well, you know you can get that shot. He'd be able to get that shot anytime he got ready. But I didn't feel no way when he said that, because when he left, I know that it wasn't him. It was his brother. You know, you got the big brother you look up to, who wanted all the same perks that Melo's family was getting, and that's where it all had stemmed from. They wanted to put people in the front office. Melo got a lot of people hired, but none of them were high positions. And he wanted to have his people. His brother wanted their people in key positions, and that just wasn't going to happen. So then you do that, but so I don't hold that to KP. I never did in that situation. But
because he wouldn't even technically even try to be the villain even when he went to Dallas.
No, because we were the perfect fit for him at the time when we got him. It's just that sometime with New York, when we got him, we had Melo. Once Porzingis came on as a rookie playing good, it's like everybody's like, get rid of Melo. Like, we never want to have two stars at the same time. Yeah. But we always say we need two stars. But we never want them to coexist. Anytime one comes, get rid of the other one. Instead of trying to have two working with each other.
Yeah.
So that's a New York thing.
Yeah, coaching would have just had to figured it out.
Yeah.
Or like at that time, we still said we needed the point guard to kind of dictate that. That's
why we didn't have that kind.
That's why we wanted Chris Paul. So that would have made a true big three.
Yeah.
With Chris Paul, if we had a Chris Paul, Melo, Porzingis, we'd have been good with that. Whatever team you put around.
Oh yeah.
I think we still had Tim Hardaway Jr. We would have had to let go of nobody. You know what I mean? You could have went back and
we'd have been a totally different team.
Yeah, we'd have been a totally different team and a better team that way. But you had to have Melo, remember, bringing the ball up because they couldn't just do it.
Yeah.
They didn't have that flair or that.
Yeah, we had Raymond. Before Raymond Felton left. Because when we had got him back, when we got him back, he was. Raymond Felton was a scoring guard though. But it was something there. But they were on the verge though. All right, how about some trade talks? Because that's still up in the air. Because I'm not looking at none of these trades that I would give up a lot for. The only thing that would intrigue me, and we play him again today in the Toronto. What's the kid from Toronto again? Oh, there, his name escaped me. The small forward for Toronto. I like him, and I would give up RJ for him. Yeah, Anunoby, whatever it is. I would give up RJ, especially the way IQ was playing. I would give RJ up for him. And whatever it is, I don't know if I think RJ might make a little bit more than him. But that's a trade I would do. I would send RJ home for him. The Buddy Hield trade I would make, depending on what I got to give up. Because he's the kind of shooter that we really could use, that we would hope that Fournier would be. There was some talk I saw last week that they put, I don't know if the Knicks really put that out, but the talk is that they put up that they would get rid of Reddish. They want 2 second-round picks for Reddish. So... And then Fournier, I guess whoever could make the right deal for Fournier. But the Levine trade, I really don't want. I know a lot of people, when I put things up on Instagram or comments on my Instagram, a lot of people want Levine. I wouldn't mind having Levine, but I don't want to give a lot up for him because to me, having Levine, who's the same type of all-star Randall was, he fades away like Randall in the course of a game. You know, like he's an all-star, but he's not a real all-star.
Yeah, I thought about it. I'm like,
so I don't necessarily want him. If they got him, fine, but he's not consistent enough for me. It would be like having another Randall to me.
Yeah.
So, Buddy Hield seems to be, other than Anunoby, of all the talk out there, Buddy Hield seems to be the one that I would probably take more of a look
Zach LaVine don't even look like you got to come with a certain mental to be here by yourself with the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, you'll probably be here with Randall. But even so, we have two people doing the same thing in terms of fading away in the game.
If the temperature has switched to where we were saying Brunson, are you coming to Brunson's team? Then I wouldn't mind. But because it's Randall's team, you know what I mean? Like your mental is different. Like if your mental came over here saying, I got to defer to what Brunson doing and kind of play around him, it'll be different. But because you're going to come here and switch with Randall, basically.
Well, I think by next year, Randall here or not, I think by next year it's Brunson's team. Because I think when the guys buy in, when the players buy in, I think they're going to buy into, and it won't be nothing against Randall. It will just be that Brunson has elevated himself to that. Because he's shown to be that type of leader on the floor. You know, because he's also deferring to Randall at times, just to show that's showing the respect factor. But when the game is on the line, he's the first person that we had since we got Randall that says, "I'm not waiting for you. Like, we need this right now." And Randall will get out of his way, but not just get out of his way, make it easier for his man to score, not just soak off to the side. He's occupying his man off to the side. So that's a sign of a good team right there.
So what I'm liking right now is we got to talk about real quick, like Tibbs. Like, everybody's feelings on Tibbs. Like, it's either they like him or they don't. I could say this: whatever system he's running with these tight rotations, it's almost like next man up. So now we can really see what we got. You know what I mean? So the only thing I think we upset about now is Reddish don't get no playing time.
Yeah.
Right? And then in the system, where does he get the playing time? And if he's not getting the playing time, is it really because he's in the doghouse, or do they need trade bait, or because they don't want him to get hurt? Like, you know what I mean? So, but then where would Reddish even fit, and how good we playing?
Well, just like with
if we was losing, then we would have been like, nah.
Well, just like with Fournier. Well, just like with Fournier, when he got those couple 3 games he got into, it could have been Reddish. It could have been whichever one Tibbs. You wouldn't have lost with either one. You actually would have gained with Reddish because you know he was going to score, and then you know he was going to defend. So even if 2 of those games in particular, I remember 2 particular times, the way he pulled Fournier out, he pulled him out because of defense. You know, so you wouldn't have lost there. I think, well, there was also an article the other day, and I really meant to put that on our thing, that they were saying, are we doing this, is Tibbs the reason why we're winning? And then you have to give the credit to Tibbs, although you got to give a whole lot to Brunson also. You have to give it to him because I think Tibbs was forced to play the young guys. And it just worked out. Not in them situations where last year or early in the season, the way people would say on their shows, just play the kids, man. Just play no, it don't go like just play the kids. You know, Tibbs being forced and those Tibbs being ready with the time is what helped. Because right now, for the first time, first time I've been a Knicks fan, I'm going back to the 70s. We never had 4 or 5 guards. It don't matter who we put in, you're comfortable. I mean, think about, we have clutch situations where IQ and Deuce is on the floor together. Right? So we're comfortable with any combination of guards that we put in that's on our roster. And then you can add if you throw in Derek, if you want to throw in Derek. But you throw in any one of them young guys in any clutch moment, we'd have never done that in the past. So, yeah, play the young guys now because they've been getting those repetitions. They've been getting that time, and they've been getting it during our winning streak. You know, it wasn't the young guys wasn't the reason why we was on the winning streak. You know, it was Randall and Brunson, but those young guys realizing I got to get in here through defense first.
Yeah, there's just a certain swag that we just missing from the Knicks. That's all. Cosmetic, like it's not like we watching a team where Melo give you that certain swag, smiling at the crowd, the way he played with the finesse.
Yeah.
Like Brunson's giving us that, but he don't smile. You know what I mean? He don't smile. He don't talk mess.
And I think once they believe, that like when they asked Randall a question about when Clyde asked him after yesterday's game, what is it about who we played against yesterday that you feel like Detroit, that you average 25, that you could do this to them anytime? And he's like, honestly, I feel like that against everybody. See, that's the kind of answers people don't want. That's not for you to say. Give the answer when you play really good against Detroit. Give the reason why. You know, their bigs can't match up with me or whatever it is. But you just can't come out there and say that because you didn't do that against, even though you did do it against Giannis. Got to take that back. Play Giannis really well. We got 4 or 5 more games. Okay, we got 5 games that we play that we could win. Count today. Then we go to 3 games with Cleveland, Boston, and Nets. So we can hold our own for these next 5 games. Those 3 right there can really elevate us to the outside world. And you want to win them, but you also want to play good in them. Because you have the capability now with Brunson being your clutch player at the end. At least now at the end of the game, we keep losing it, but we know who to go to. Yeah. And we got to figure out how not to lose it. You know, before it was we catch it up to everybody. We could be down 10-20, we get back in the game, so we knew we had comeback ability. But now the worst thing in the world is blowing leads and losing them at the end of the game. Yeah. And that's become contagious really the past 10 games. And we got to figure that out because the tables could turn and we don't win those games. So I like the way the Knicks is going. My last question was going to be where can we go from here, but we're going to leave that open because only the Knicks can decide where we go from here. If Randall going to keep that mindset in his mind that he is a beast on our team, but he's still better than most players on the other team. So if he can keep that mindset, because we got that working for us. We got Brunson's closing ability to close a game in the clutch. We got that working for us, and then we have IQ working for us. So we got 3 elements, not to mention our team defense, but we got 3 elements that show that we can be a consistent winning team because we're 2 games out of the 4th place. But in the win column, we're two games in the win column from 2nd place. And those teams got to play each other, and then they're starting to fall. And as long as we're winning, we can be right there with them. And that's all people are asking for. Right. We can be right there with them when push comes to shove and control our own destiny. You ain't going to win all them games. We know that. So all I can say is that right now, everybody that's on the Knicks bandwagon, this is a good time to stay on and push our team to the next level because right now we have pieces. We may not have that real all-star player, but we got pieces that can help the Knicks win going into the playoffs. Because there's only like 30-something more games now till the playoffs. Yeah. So, by the time the All-Star game is over, it's going to be a hard stretch to go down. But we can set ourselves up now that if we have another 5-game losing streak, we'll still be there in the hunt. So, so please hook us up, like, comment, subscribe. We're going to try to stay as consistent as we can. We love doing this. We love talking about our Knicks. And then until next time,
peace.